Shaking YouTube, the angel of authenticity here. Did you know that the people in Hollywood talking about clones talks about the pituitary gland, and right by that is where your conscious memory is stored. And that's how they're able to take out your little doodah in your brain and stick it in a clone or another person, and it has all your conscious memories. Now, I believed that because of the people that I had heard talking about it, and just I knew that there was a lot of truth to that. I remember them talking about it on the Disney Channel when I was a little kid, like 11, 12 years old, 1991, 92, and then you never heard anything about cloning. However, I'm watching the Story Channel with the guy from Unsolved Mysteries on it, right? And it's talking about how there's people out there developing programs and have developed programs where you could upload your conscious memory, your brain, to a computer, to the cloud, which means it can be stolen, every memory you got, which means it could be transferred to another body, which means that maybe you could just be read and you have that information as another human. What they're going to do with it, I don't know. But that just proves that it's possible. If you could take out a part of your brain to have it, then if you were alive, you could transmit it to the cloud. Like, that means that information's already here if they're talking about it on primetime TV and regular TV. We're 20 years behind on what's actually on TV. So with that being said, that stuff in Hollywood that they were talking about is actually happening, how they prefer Gen 2 or Gen 3 or Generation 4 or whatever of these particular people is true. And I find it very fascinating that the federal government, the FTC in particular, that has all the power over how we bury our remains and who gets to touch us and who don't, and what's legal and what's not. I find it very fascinating that if you die in the United States, that the weird mortuary guy's got to take you. He takes you to his little lair, his creepy lair, and he takes out your brain no matter what. Now, some people will argue it's because the brain starts deteriorating at a rapid rate. It'll dribble out your nose. It's disgusting. It stinks. Da 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 da. No. Because even if grandma gets signed off at the hospital, they knew she was terminal. She's 104 years old. She's very wealthy. She has a private plot. Can her grandson just put her in the back of the car after she's been determined dead by medical professionals and coroners, have signed off on her paper, and you've already got your family plot that's already legal and everything else? The only thing you got to do is put grandma on the ground, but they will not let you do it. They won't let you do it unless that mortuary guy, fucking weird creepo, takes your body and takes out your brain first. Then they'll release it to the family to shroud naturally and put it in the ground. Fascinating. Why do you want everyone's brain without exception? It's because they're able to pull our conscious memories now. I know that sounds bizarre, but here I am on regular TV. I just turned it on. It's on the antenna, talking about scientists and the incredible things about our brain, and talking about how these people are downloading their conscious memories to the cloud. We need to start advocating for our proper burials. They keep a piece of stone on top of us and put us in triple lock caskets in this energetic grid because the devil believes that we won't be able to rise up. We can't rise up back to our creator when you got stone on top of you and dirt on top of you, and you're locked in a coffin. That's what they believe. That's why we do what we do. Name one funeral. Name one time in the Bible, an exception to Moses being buried by Jesus. Name one time where it talks about how we're supposed to do all that. That's necromancy. That's Satan's work. Anybody that's bought a plot, went through the funeral process, paid $1 million to be shown, put makeup on, and to be made a spectacle out of after you were dead, when God explicitly says he is the living God. So it's not a religious thing. This is like, I wanted to go out in style, no, man. That's power, that's trip, that's ego talking. We need to put a stop to this. This is our federal government that mandates that they take the blood that they drain out of your bodies, which we all know is bullshit. They not only take our bone marrow and all our organs are very, very valuable. And not only do they do that, and they charge us $1 million for a casket and all this other bullshit. The plot that you buy and pay for, and it's yours outright, except for it's not, because you got to pay taxes on it. And then your family's got to pay taxes on it. Otherwise, they triple, double, and quadruple bury on top of you, which they'll do anyway. Because really, even though you buy a 6x9 plot or whatever the measurements are, it's not yours. Whatever your casket occupies is yours. I can't go put a tent on that shit. I can't go put a tent on my grandma's plots, even though she's owned them since 1973. We can't even keep a pinwheel here. She owns it. She bought it. She owned it. She owned it the whole time she was alive. We're paying taxes on it the whole time she's been dead. Can we put a pinwheel on it and keep it there? Nope. Nope. They remove everything when they mow. Can I put a tent there? That's the only inheritance I got. Nope. They're going to put 3 other people on top of Granny, too. What's the point of buying your own gravesite, then? What's the point if you're going to have mass burial? It's just something to think about, people, and to really realize how deep the satanic cult has gotten into our American government system and our practices that we count on every day. So till next time, the angel of authenticity reminding you, get real and stay that way.